Hello everyone. I just want to give you guys a quick description of what we've come up with as far as face shields. These are DIY face shields, not to be used professionally. However, they have a nice professional feel and they are 100% reusable, able to be cleaned and sanitized. So let's talk about the need. The need obviously is there is a pandemic. The coronavirus is a big problem and part of our lives now, and we're stuck at home. Also one of the many reasons why we came up with this. We are constantly making deliveries as needed to our vendors for our product line, and we're constantly in and out of stores. Mask is okay. Mask and face shield is great. The current situation does not allow us to use N95 masks, so we are making homemade face coverings, including face shields and face masks. Today we'll be focusing only on the face mask. So the original product looked a little bit like this. We had these at home, we had our hats at home, and we decided to basically take something to shield around it that we could not find. We looked at a couple of things and we came up with this regular old 2-liter bottle. This 2-liter bottle basically gets cut, put around the hat, a couple of grommets in both the face shield, the plastic portion, as well as the top of the hat. They're not really super necessary. The plastic here, it's PET plastic, is pretty durable, especially for short term. Makes a lot of sense to use. That said, works real nice. 3 holes on the brim of the hat, 3 holes on the plastic, and then you can trim it off to make it look a little prettier. Real simple, just a couple of zip ties, nothing special, the small zip ties you can. And then on the inside, a nice foam to make sure that nothing gets from the top down. So that said, works really, really nice. This one is green. We use it outside when we're outside in the yard, or we're outside taking some of our seedlings in, or we're outside doing a little transplanting and looking better that we're about to get into the growing season. So we realized that although this is a nice idea, it takes a little bit of work, and we needed something that was not only reusable but able to be cleaned easily. This would require you to cut off the zip ties and then go ahead and wash the hat and get yourself another piece of plastic. So the first idea was to use something that is common besides the 2-liter bottle. The second thing would be regular old plastic bottles like these. These are a dime a dozen, well actually a nickel for each one for what you pay here in New York City. That said, you can find these just about everywhere, including your own garbage. So if you look in your recycling bin, this is what we're going to be using to make our second generation of mask. And this is what our second generation first prototype kind of looks like. So basically, it's in 2 bottles encased in styrofoam. Styrofoam is a 2-inch material, rigid styrofoam, pretty easy to find just about anywhere. Home Depot has them, other hardware stores have them, Lowe's, etc. And some type of backing on the inside, which protects you from a little bit of bumpiness. This one's a little thin. We double it up real nice, and it comes real clean. So you'll notice the clear plastic, which is much more attractive than the green. Green's real good if you're going to be, the green one right here is real good if you're going to be using it outdoors in a sunny situation. You want a little bit of tinting, and you're doing some work in your backyard, some other work with other people, and you don't want them to be exposed, or your eyes to be exposed to a constant conversation. Just remember to stay 6 feet away. Moving on, so the original design has just styrofoam. It looks okay. It works well, and we'll show you what the final looks like. But the end result is it needs some type of backing. So Tommy's going to show you what it kind of looks like with the backing. And this backing is basically, comes on inside, 2 pieces of molded cardboard, real nice. Backing goes into here, and then it's ready to go. So that is our model for what the inside of it is. But this in itself is not reusable, so that's why it needs to be in the plastic bottles. So this is what the final product looks like. Final product is, this is just a little bit of our company logo on it. It's nice, clean, white, clean, clear plastic from a 2-liter clear bottle. There are many companies that get 2-liter bottles that are perfectly round in circumference. There's a couple that have curves. Try and stay away from those because they don't really work very well. They kind of molt on top of your face and they don't quite work. So a round, very round circumference, 2-liter soda or similar seltzer bottles will work. So this is the final product. Basically you have a stretchy material on the back, elastic, whatever you may find. You could put some type of logo on top we put our Salerno Seas logo on it just for a little promotion. Moving on to what the final thing looks like, put it on your head, and it's a really nice, clean product. See real clear through it. It's not clear, but again, those clear plastics, if you can find them, great. If not, this is a great alternative, 100% made from recycled material. We also have a version of this unit for true recycling. If you don't have a piece of rigid insulation, egg crate. Egg crate works really fine in this situation. It does come a little bumpy when you come and finish it off in the shrink wrap process, but basically it goes up in here. And again, with using this product, it is 100% recyclable, direct from your recycle bin, cleaned and onto your face for use. Again, we do not recommend this for sterile situations, as most bottles are used by individuals. You should keep your own bottles the way they are. Once you shrink wrap the bottles, 100% on the outside, they're clean. You can put these caps on them these caps are attached on the outside, the bottle caps themselves. You can take closed ones like these, put them on both sides, remove the plastic from the top, just recycle and clean this plastic frame. The foam will come right off and you replace the foam with the foam that you can find, again, at any local hardware store. So this is what the final product looks like, and the good thing about that is, you know what, it's these times allow us to do a couple of different things. We can say, I love New York like we love the rest of the United States. No matter what your political party is, it makes no difference. We're in this together, whether for a Democrat or Republican, not really a problem. But I think this brings it home right away. This right here puts it all in perspective. This, say, 6 feet apart, or you'll be 6 feet under. So this is a continuation on how to assemble the recycled mask from water bottles. This recycled mask is 100% reusable and made from recycled materials. So we're going to need a couple things. We're going to need some cardboard from any source, preferably thin. I typically have found a good source of inexpensive cardboard from the Postal Service. You're going to need some rigid foam, 2-inch rigid foam, or the bottom of egg crates. You will need 2 water bottles. Water bottles are found obviously just about anywhere, and the good thing about them is instead of them landing in the front of your house and in some landfill, wherever they wind up, or being shipped out to make something else, we can use them right here in the United States and make a product that is needed and doesn't impede with the current need for face shields to the medical professions and the people on our front lines basically fighting the coronavirus. And a couple more things we'll need is 1 round, completely round 2-liter bottle. The curved ones with the dip will not work. It needs to be completely round. You'll find these, again, hopefully in your garbage or in your neighbor's garbage or whatever it may be. Just remember to, any of these products, you want to clean them, wash them before you even touch them. Be very careful with them because people might have put them on their lips. Preferably you want to be looking in your own garbage, in your own recycling piles. But this is a good way to take this type of material and turn it into something like this. So you will also need some type of elastic material. I found that this is very, very good. It's inexpensive. It's readily available. All pharmacies are still open as essential businesses. Basically, you will need a roll of this. This stuff comes in rolls about 10 to 15 yards, and it makes a great material for elastic. Very, very inexpensive. Bit of styrofoam, as we mentioned. Hot glue gun. A heat gun. We've tried it with the hair dryer. Unfortunately, the hair dryer does not work. It does not have enough heat. As well as some type of foam material to protect your forehead from the plastic. So let's put this thing together. Let's see what we can come up with. So this is going to be the outside of the mask. That's the frame of the outside of the mask. So the first thing you need to do is make sure that you have cut this 11 inches by 2. If you have a paper cutter, it works very well on this material, very straight edges. A scissor will work just as well, no problem. But for the matter of speed, and if you want to make multiples of them, you will probably like to have a paper cutter. You'll take this piece and you will basically rub it on an edge to give it a nice curve and turn this into something that's going to want to naturally curve. The same thing with the piece in the back, which is 9 1/4 by 2 inches, same material, and you're going to turn this the opposite way so you can kind of see the white portion on the outside, as it just makes it a little aesthetically nicer when you put it together. So real simple, you take these two pieces together, put one on one edge, and you go ahead and you grab your trusty stapler. So we're going to take the two pieces and we're going to put them on one edge and staple them together. Take the other two pieces, and it kind of forms like an arch if you take a look. Nice clean arch. Put those together. And we're pretty good. So this is what the final product will look like. But we need this piece in the center. To make the piece in the center, we have a template which we'll be putting up on our website, so that this way it gives you the bill of materials to make what you have. Again, very minimal amount of money spent. I think if we spent 50 cents on this, it was already too much. So we're going to take that and we're going to make a template. This template is going to be on our website along with the bill of materials. We're going to basically come on in here, draw this out like so, and we have the template for the insert. Now, you can also use, as we said, egg crate. It does compress a little bit more, but if you don't have rigid styrofoam and you do have egg crate from all those eggs that you have, hopefully in your fridge after stocking up for a couple of weeks, you should have plenty of egg crate. And we're going to need a couple of more things. So we're going to need our trusty knife to cut this. If you have a styrofoam cutter at home, and you've done this before, it's much more convenient, but a knife works real well. Nice long knife, just come on in, make the shape out. So that's what's more or less what you should be looking at. This is your final product, and you'll have some styrofoam to remake your product. You're going to put this right in here, and you're going to take a little bit of tape. Attach this right like so. And the mold is pretty good. Throw another staple right at the edge right here. And one like so. So we have the insert that goes into the plastic bottles ready to go. And we're ready to do something. Now, in ours, we've obviously taken a few liberties and put up a couple of slogans, a couple of logos. Any of this stuff can be custom made, but for the most part, we're just going to leave this blank just the way it is. And then with your own imagination, you can do whatever you like with that. And basically it just gets put on top of here and inserted into the bottles. So first thing we're going to have to do is we're going to get to prep the bottles. We're going to prep the bottles real simple. Take a bottle cap, remove the plastic advertising around it on both of them. And you're going to leave the caps on. They're a lot easier to cut this way. The first bottle is going to be a total of 7 inches long from the base of the cap here to the top of the bottle. So we're just going to cut off the very, very edge of it so it's nice and clean. It's about a ½ inch right off, like so. All right? So this is 7 inches from here to here. And we're going to go on to the next one. We're going to use the next bottle, and it's going to be 6 inches. It's about the third ring inside of these bottles. Not all bottles are the same depending on what you have, but no matter what, you want 6 inches from the top of this to the bottom of the cut bottle. All right, so hopefully these are all cleaned. You can take these beforehand and wash them out with a brush, and this way you're sure that you're not bringing anything that you don't want to. Once we get to the outside process of heating, the outside basically becomes completely super hot, and that's not an issue. But the inside of the bottles, if you are drinking out of them, should be considered something that's contaminated and should be cleaned. You want to make sure these are dry if possible. It's a lot easier to put in the cardboard material into while they're dry. So real simple, you're going to take your mold and you're going to start pushing this in here. You're going to take the longer bottle first, the 7-inch bottle, okay? You're going to put that in first. You're going to try and roll it in here as much as you can. All right, and then you're going to take off your cap, take a pair of needle nose pliers, and try and pull the rest gently that you can. You want these as close to the edge of the bottle top as possible. So you pull these back. This is the back of the face shield. Okay, and you want to pull this and push this down the front of the face shield and push this like so, so it kind of goes flat. Best thing to do is take a little bit of tape, small piece, and hold this flat. Now you're doing this so that the next bottle goes on fairly easily and there's no restrictions as you're trying to get it on. All right, so the next bottle will go on like so. Try and manipulate it and basically turn it like so, so that this way you are getting as much overlap as you can, and again, getting to the end of this cap. Okay? You want to make sure that this here is straight as possible, and curved, and then you start molding it by hand so that this way you can go ahead and start the heating process. So, shove the cap here. All right, so you kind of see the basic shape right here, and it's pretty good. So what you want to do is take your heat gun and start with the back. This is the part where your head is going to kind of be rounded inside, and start heating it up. So as you're heating it up, don't go too close. Try and jockey around a little bit and go from one side to the other. Get this back side done so it's fairly molded the way you want it. You can touch it a little bit here and there just to keep it in contour. And see how it's shrink wrapping real nice. No issues. Want it tight. Go to the other side. If it's not molded right, just push out a little bit. And it's going to mold out right by itself. Real nice. Okay. Going to get a really nice form. You can do the sides, and you want to have the front so that this way you can have a nice smooth surface. Look how smooth that is. So smooth, look at that. All right, it's gonna be really, really tight. This makes a very strong frame that is 100% washable and reusable. So we wanna make this as smooth as possible. And if you make a couple of these, this is probably my 10th one I've made, given them out. And this is probably one of the smoothest and evenly distributed ones that I've put together. So this is all ready to go. You want to hold these back like this a little bit so that this way these are kind of going to face the back of your head. All right. So this is nice and ready to go to be molded into the next phase. The next phase is basically take that cap. And we're going to put in that's our and
cut it.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Left off at
Let me start over here. Okay.
Put that stuff in.
All right. So this is a nice rigid frame, and we're going to go to our next step. Our next step is going to be to basically take off the two caps and drill the holes inside. Take a needle nose pliers, hold it straight down, small hole, 3/16 hole into the cap. Again, nothing fancy. You can use a punch in a couple of ways, and you're going to take that 12-inch piece that's pre-stretched, 12-inch to depending on the size. This is adjustable. Again, nothing fancy. Piece of the elastic bandage and basically put it through the ends. You're going to take it face down so the threads are facing you, and pull or take give it a little pull into here, pull the product, and give it a quick knot. This stuff is pretty amazing because it is sticky, and you'll see once you use this elastic, it will kind of hold on to the back of your head. It's cheap, it's very, very easy to make another one, so the next day, if this has been exposed, contaminated, whatever have you, you're not spending a fortune, you're in good shape. So you do that to both sides. See, the knot is on the side where the threads are on both sides, okay? So put that in like so, and tie it off. Good. So this is the frame of your mask with the elastic on it. Real simple, nice wide piece that you can use. Again, 100% recycled material with the exception of the styrofoam. As I said, you can use that on the inside here instead of the styrofoam, and basically have a product that is 100% recycled material. So there you go. Again, the cardboard is anywhere you can find it, something fairly thin, nothing too heavy, so that this way the shrink wrapping of the plastic PET bottle will be really, really tight. So the next thing we're going to have to do is basically use the 2-liter bottle and cut it in a way that is going to make the most amount of sense. So we're going to just take this portion of it, and we're going to be right where it kind of stops at being completely a circle, and try and get it right here. You don't want it here because it's going to turn. It'll turn into your face. So we're going to go ahead and put a little slit here, and try and take the scissor, put it inside. And yeah, we're using green. This is what we had available today. Depending on my kids' drinking habits and what's available at the store these days, we take that all into consideration. All right. So we're going to need a paper cutter for this, only because it makes it a lot easier. And But if you don't have a paper cutter, you just gotta try and get it as round as you can. I like using the paper cutter only because I have nice straight edges and I don't get these little serrations on them. So you can do the same thing with the bottom. Most of these bottles will have a line which indicates where they mold and mesh this from and they extrude this from. There's a line, a heavy duty line, and then a thin line where the sticker used to be. Cut where the sticker, the lighter line where the sticker used to be, because it'll be exactly where you want it. And then you can take that line with the scissor and follow it very, very well. Without having to kind of guess where it is there. It's a faint line, but it works pretty well. So we wash this out. This is not so much of an issue when it's wet. We had washed this bottle out beforehand. It's just a bit of water that's there. We'll get rid of those. Like I said, in the state of New York, these are 5 cents deposit bottles. Hopefully we get through this and we can continue giving the state the 5 cents and not having to make face masks and get through this problem. So we want to basically go to the back side of this where the label seam was, cut that right just about in the middle so that this way we can kind of even it out. We will not be seeing any of this white stuff in the final product, and I'll show you that. So we're going to take that, take our paper cutter. It also cuts plastic, which is real nice. All right, and we're going to start picking a side that makes the most amount of sense. Try and get this as even as possible. So I typically go with the side on the bottom of the bottle, which there was a line to follow, and it's going to be pretty close as far as being square. So we want to get rid of all of the material that's here as far as anything that's stuck to it. If we can take off a little bit more, which we do, that's good. All right, and a little bit better basically if you take it and put it downward, it'll cut a little bit better. So keep that straight as you can. That's gone. Go to the other side. Cut that off. Try and keep it as even as possible. This is a little tricky, but it's good. All right, and then we want to clean, now that these are all square, we want to clean the edges. These edges are kind of all over the place as usual. If you see yourself not being quite square as this one is looking, we will fix it afterwards. This one is a little bit better on this side. So let's get rid of the edges here. Clean. Don't worry about the sharp edges. We're going to round those out afterwards. All right. So this is going to be the bottom of your bottle here, of what used to be, what will be the bottom of your face shield. So this is nice and clean. If you want to kind of square this out, you can. It's up to you. But for the most part, this is going to be attached to the shield here that we've created a couple minutes ago. So let's attach that to the shield, but when you do this, you want to make sure that you don't attach it this way. Okay, you want to attach it this way, so that this way it doesn't fold into your face. But as far as prep goes, after you do that, you want to roll it the other way a couple of times. I have found if you let them sit about 20 minutes with a rubber band around them the opposite way, they kind of fix themselves. But nice and tight, like so. And you're ready to hot glue the product. Before we do that, we want to do a couple things. We want to make sure the size is about right. You don't want to go too far out. So this is actually a little bit longer. You could create a longer face shields, but this actually works very well as far as the majority of the public, as far as its width goes. So in that interest, we're going to cut off just a little bit of this so that this way we can kind of make it correspond. So that, with this shield here, the overall measurement should be approximately 11.5 inches as far as the length. The width, as far as how far it goes down, is as much as you can get out of it without having the bottom curve on you. Okay, so let's put that down. 11.5 inches. Okay, all right, and we're good. We want to take into consideration that these are sharp edges. You want to take the portion of the bottle which doesn't have the lines on it, because that's going to be the basically base of your shield down here, and you want to get rid of the sharp edges, just basically putting a scissor and rounding them over. So now you have an effective shield that you're going to be put onto your frame that we have here. Okay, and we're going to start gluing this stuff. We're going to take we have a kind of a form that we've had over here a couple of times just to hold this in place so that it works. You can even take another mask like this and put it on top of it, but we're pretty good with our form on top and placing this here. So this is our form, and we're going to start hot gluing. Tommy, if you wouldn't mind, we'll start here so we can show everyone what it looks like at the end. So we're going to start right there, sir, and start putting down your glue. If you have a really good hot glue gun, that really helps. This is what we had available, so we're just going to make this work as usual. So comes on down. You want to do it nice and slow. This is kind of a two-man process. There's a couple other things you can do. I've tried crazy glue. It's okay. It's a little sloppy. I've tried double stick tape. Works great. Sometimes not available. Also pretty expensive. This hot glue gun method works really well. Keep on going all the way down. Put double on there. And you want to make sure that you put a little double or heavy on the corners, and you should be fine. All right, so let's put this together. I'm going to hold this down, and it's going to dry. You can take some of your spare material and basically rub it or hold it together on one side, like so. That's it. Just hold it down for about a minute. Should be good. Okay, and we're almost done. So that's good. Take that off. And basically, your mask is almost complete. You want to take a little bit of tape and put it on the inside here where the two pieces kind of meet. You never know how well the joint is, but for cleaning purposes, it does what it's supposed to do. And then you want to take your 7.5 inch piece of foam and basically line that. I'm going to take off these for clarity's sake. And you're going to line your mask. We're going to double this up. You can buy the thicker stuff. This is an 1.25 inch material, but they do make it in 1/2 inch, very thick. You can find that again at any local hardware store. We're going to double it up so that this way we can get a nice, comfortable head pad. Take that, put on your elastic containers, and voila, this is your face mask. Again, preferably in clear if you can get it, but this works just as well, especially on a sunny day. So this has been a real treat trying to put this together. My son and I have spent a couple of days trying to figure out how to take products that we discard and use them for the greater good. Enjoy this. Hopefully this educational video will show you how to make a face shield without going into the stockpiles necessary for the medical professionals. Thank you very much. Be safe, America, and have a great day.